A mother had difficulty searching for the perfect way to tell her girls they had a new adoptive brother. After scouring the internet, she was on the brink of giving up when her husband suggested they place the baby under the Christmas tree. Courtney and Steve Solstead were a happily married couple who, like most people, longed to start their parenthood journey. But when nothing changed for them by the time they celebrated their second wedding anniversary, they could feel something wasn't right. Eventually, the pair sought medical advice and decided to give fertility treatments a try. They were thrilled to discover they were expecting their first baby a few years later. Sadly, their worst nightmare came true when the doctors told them Courtney would likely suffer a miscarriage, which she did. Knowing how much they yearned to become parents, the Solsteads decided to consider adoption as their best option, while also giving IVF a shot. To their astonishment, things worked out in their favor when Courtney fell pregnant and gave birth to a healthy daughter, Chloe. Eventually, things changed for the best when Courtney received an unexpected phone call one Thursday afternoon in December 2015. Within the next few years, the couple welcomed two more lovely daughters, Emma and Machi, and were thrilled to revel in parental bliss. However, the thought of adoption never entirely left their minds, so after moving to Dallas, Texas, they became much more resolute in their decision to expand their family. With Steve doing well in his new job, it was only a matter of time before they started the documentation process in September 2015. All along, the Solsteads had their three girls on board, who were delighted with the prospect of welcoming another sibling. Given how lengthy and rigorous the adoption process could be, with the likelihood of delays, detours, and extensive paperwork, Courtney and Steve decided not to disclose any information to their daughters until everything was finalized. Their sole reason behind doing so was to shield their kids from the soul-consuming waiting period. Eventually, things changed for the best when Courtney received an unexpected phone call one Thursday afternoon in December 2015. It was a call from her caseworker that proved life-altering. Courtney said she was over the moon when the caseworker told her about a newborn boy who needed a forever home and a loving family. Soon afterward, she called her husband to share the exciting news. And when he didn't return her calls, she left him a message that read, "We got a baby. It's a boy. Call me." The Solsteads decided to keep it a secret from their daughters, and after dropping them off at school, they went to the hospital to complete the documentation process and bring their son home. Since he was born at less than 37 weeks, he had to undergo a car seat session. And while that was in progress, Courtney sat down with her phone, searching for a way to break the news to her girls. Eventually, an hour passed in the blink of an eye, and she was clueless about how to tell her daughters they had a new family member. While a friend of the Solsteads entertained Chloe, Emma, and Matti on their way back from school, the couple settled down with their baby boy at home. Courtney was still out of ideas when the doorbell rang, and her heart started to sink. She had failed to prepare a surprise for her little princesses. What would she do now? Seeing his wife in a real predicament, Steve came up with a smart solution. He told her to wrap their son in a blanket and place him underneath the Christmas tree. And that was what the couple did. A few seconds later, their daughters hurried into the room and were astounded when they saw what was lying underneath the tree. "That's your new baby brother," announced Courtney as her girls walked closer to the Christmas tree in the room, staring at their little sibling in disbelief. The ecstatic mom recounted seeing her girls burst into tears of joy. With their hands to their mouths, one of them uttered, "I'm going to wet my pants." Later, she exclaimed, "He's so sweet. Can I touch him?" Courtney and Steve captured their daughters' heartwarming reactions in an adorable video that went viral on social media around Christmas time in 2015 and has been making rounds once again in November 2022. While adopting a baby was Courtney and Steve's heartfelt desire, it was also their girls' #1 item on their Christmas wish list. And from the look of things, it isn't hard to guess that the family received their Christmas miracle in a way they had never thought possible. According to the Texas mom, her daughters had no idea about their baby brother until they finally walked inside and saw him under the tree. The Solsteads named their son Nathan and were glad he arrived in their lives at the perfect time. Courtney expressed, "Nathan truly was the best gift we could have ever received for the holidays. Many netizens were touched by Chloe, Emma, and Machi's priceless reactions and couldn't help but dote on the Solstead family's new bundle of joy. What a cool way to introduce their new baby to the family. Bless this family for adopting a child who may have otherwise still been parentless this Christmas. Adopt means to bring someone closure. This can be done those who are having bigger heart. Salute to those parents, those who are adopting. Those little ladies were so sweet and didn't yell or scream, kept everything peaceful for baby. Our hearts are so full seeing Nathan being received with love, joy, and warmth by his big sisters. Please share your thoughts in the comment section if you feel the same. Let's move on to the next story. A woman was already a doting mom of 3 kids when she learned they had a newborn sibling. One day, she received a call from the hospital asking if she could look after the baby for 2 weeks. What happened next was something she had never seen coming. Amber Humphries was oblivious to what she was signing up for when she met 3 siblings who changed her life. In August 2020, she embraced a beautiful role and opened her heart and home to Ace, Tiana, and Alexander. For many families and individuals, adoption has turned out to be a wholesome experience, and the same was true for Amber. As a single mother from Cincinnati, she had genuine love, unwavering affection, and undimmed devotion for her bundles of joy. Amber worked in hospice and was held in the highest regard by her relatives, friends, and colleagues. Her caseworker, Maggie Earhart, described her as a calm, kind, and composed individual with the perfect temperament for raising adoptive children. The family also planned to adopt 2 more children later, which would make them happy parents to 9 amazing youngsters. But that wasn't all. Amber came from a loving and supportive family, and her sound upbringing was reflected in her parenting skills. Her mother was a social worker and therapist, and her sister had a background in psychology, coupled with her experience in handling children with special needs. Amber noted that her loved ones were of immense help whenever she needed them. Her 3 adoptive children were all siblings and happy to have a caring and devoted mother like her. It was heartwarming to see that her kids reciprocated her love, and Amber considered herself fortunate to have them. Then, one day, she found out that Ace, Tiana, and Alexander had a newborn sister. Knowing how much it would mean to them, she took the trio to the hospital to meet their baby sibling. Amber watched her kids' faces light up with pure joy and was glad she had made the trip. The next day, she received a startling call from the hospital. They needed someone to take care of the infant girl for 2 weeks. Amber immediately agreed and brought the baby home, not knowing that those 2 weeks would turn into 2 months and eventually become 2 years. Almost 3 years, added Amber. About her older children, she said, "I love them so much I can't see not having them at this point." Little Eliana became an integral part of the Humphries family, and it was only a matter of time before Amber made things official. Then one day, everything fell perfectly into place. On Friday, November 4, 2022, it was Adoption Day in Hamilton County, and the older Humphries siblings walked into the courtroom in matching t-shirts that read, "Been there, done that. Now it's your turn." 2-year-old Ileana officially became a part of their family, and Ace, 9, Tana, 7, and Alexander, 6, were thrilled, unable to control their excitement as they welcomed their little sister. An emotional Amber called it a long and winding journey, expressing sheer gratitude that she was able to keep the 4 siblings together. "We didn't want to lose her, but we understood what I signed on for," she added. Amber said she planned to celebrate the brilliant news with a grand family celebration. When Amber's heartwarming adoption story was shared online, it quickly gained traction, inviting positive feedback from netizens from all over the world. Here are a few comments that people wrote. "God bless you and her family. I saw you on the news. I am so happy for you. Congratulations to you and your family. Happy holidays. Best wishes for much happiness and blessings in your future. God bless your family. This is a wonderful thing you have done. You are such a loving and good-hearted person. Not very many people would step up and do this. God bless you." Interestingly, the Humphreys weren't the only ones whose adoption case was finalized in Judge Ralph Winkler's Hamilton County Probate Court. The Structures finally took 2-year-old Brooklyn home after a 2.5-year journey through foster care and constant delays. Similarly, the Joneses welcomed 12-year-old Raven into their hearts and home and were delighted to add to their existing brood of biological and adopted kids. The family also planned to adopt 2 more children later, which would make them happy parents to 9 amazing youngsters.